Europe is one of the most visited places on Earth, and it's easy to see why. Within a few hours of travel, you can go from famous cities like London and Rome to peaceful lakes, historic castles, quiet villages, and coastlines with clear blue water. Every country offers something different, whether it's food, culture, architecture, or nature. And exploring Europe often feels like walking through a live travel guide where every stop has something interesting to show you. In this video, we're taking you through 100 beautiful places across the continent. From popular landmarks you've probably heard of to hidden spots that many travelers miss. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us keep creating helpful travel guides and discovering more places around the world. Now, let's start our journey through Europe and see what makes this continent one of the most exciting destinations to explore. Europe is one of the most accessible continents for travel because every country is close to the next, and each one feels different in its own way. Our journey begins with some of the most recognizable destinations, places people often see in photos or movies, but don't always understand until they visit in person. When you arrive in Paris, the first thing you notice is how familiar everything feels, even if it's your first time. The Eiffel Tower rises above the city, not just as a monument, but as a symbol of how Europe blends old structures with modern life. People sit at small cafes drinking coffee, buses move along clean streets, and every corner has something interesting to look at. Visitors usually go straight to the Eiffel Tower, but the real experience of Paris comes from exploring the streets around it, listening to the language, watching locals go about their day, and seeing how calm and organized the city feels despite being full of tourists. You begin to understand why Paris is one of the most visited places in the world. It's not just the big landmarks. It's the atmosphere, the food, the culture, and the ability to walk for hours without getting bored. Leaving Paris and traveling east brings you into Switzerland, a country known for its landscapes that look clean and almost unreal. When you arrive in the Swiss Alps, everything appears organized and peaceful. The mountains rise sharply into the sky. The lakes reflect them perfectly, and the villages seem carefully built to match the environment instead of competing with it. One of the most visited spots is the town of Interlaken, which sits between two lakes with bright blue water. The mountains surrounding the town make it feel protected and safe, and people from all around the world come here for hiking, paragliding, or simply relaxing by the lake. Switzerland is also known for being extremely clean. Public transport runs on time, and everything from the trains to the streets feels carefully maintained. When you stand near Lake Briesse or Lake Thun, the stillness of the water and the sound of the wind moving through the trees remind you how important nature is in European travel. Traveling across the border takes you into Italy, a country that doesn't need much introduction. Almost every corner of Italy has something worth seeing. But one of the most famous cities is Venice. When you arrive in Venice, you immediately see why the city is unique. There are no cars. The entire place is built on canals, and boats replace taxis and buses. The narrow streets wind between old buildings, and the smell of the sea mixes with the sound of water hitting the sides of gondolas. People often say Venice looks like a movie set. But when you walk across the bridges and see how daily life works, hear grocery deliveries by boat, children taking water taxis to school, becomes clear that Venice is not a theme park. It's a functional city with hundreds of years of history. Visiting St. Mark's Square early in the morning before crowds arrive gives you the chance to see the architecture more clearly and appreciate how impressive the structures are for a city built entirely on water. From Venice, traveling south brings you to Rome, another destination nearly everyone recognizes. Rome is different from Venice in many ways. It is loud, busy, and full of energy. Cars fill the streets, voices echo through open squares, and large crowds gather around ancient sites. The main attraction is the Colosseum, a massive structure that stands as a reminder of the Roman Empire. Seeing it in person helps you understand its size and how advanced Roman engineering was for its time. Nearby, the Roman Forum shows the remains of temples, columns, and government buildings that once formed the center of political life. Even though most of them are only ruins now, you can still imagine the atmosphere of ancient Rome. What makes Rome interesting is how the modern city has grown around the old one. People walk past ruins on their way to work. Buses drive next to ancient archways, and cafes sit beside structures thousands of years old. Rome never tries to hide its history. It uses it as part of its identity. Heading north again takes you into Austria and the famous city of Vienna. Vienna feels different from the other places in Chapter 1 because it is more organized, calm, and elegant in a classical way. The city is filled with large buildings from the time of the Habsburg Empire, wide streets, and parks designed for people to enjoy music, art, and outdoor life. If you enjoy architecture, Vienna is one of the best places to visit because almost every building has decorative details, carvings, sculptures, and perfectly shaped windows. The city values culture, and you can feel it when you walk by opera houses, music halls, and museums. Many people visit Schönbrunn Palace, a large yellow building with gardens stretching across a huge area. The palace gives you a view of how European royalty once lived, with wide staircases, decorated rooms, and long halls used for events and gatherings. Vienna is a place that takes its traditions seriously, while also being open to modern influences. Leaving Vienna and moving into Germany brings you to a country known for both strong history and modern innovation. One of the most photographed places in Germany is Neuschwanstein Castle, located in the Bavarian Alps. The castle sits on a mountain surrounded by forests, and it looks like something drawn for a fairy tale. Many people believe it inspired the castle design used in cartoons and theme parks. When you see it in person, the bright white walls and pointed towers stand out clearly against the green landscape. Germany also has large cities like Berlin, which attracts travelers for its historic sites and creative urban culture. Visiting the Berlin Wall area helps you understand recent European history, showing how the city was once divided and how people lived on opposite sides. Now, the wall has become a symbol of unity rather than separation, and the artwork painted on its remaining sections reflects themes of freedom, peace, and hope. From Germany, continuing west takes you into Netherlands, a country famous for its flat landscapes, windmills, and canals. Amsterdam is the most well-known city, and when you arrive, the first thing you notice is how many bicycles there are. Locals use bikes for everything, and the city has dedicated lanes to keep everyone safe. The canals run in neat circles around the city center, and small bridges cross them every few meters. Boats travel slowly along the water, passing rows of houses with narrow fronts and tall windows. Each house looks slightly different from the next, giving Amsterdam a very distinct charm. Many travelers enjoy sitting at cafes by the water, watching boats and bikes pass by in a calm, steady flow. Outside Amsterdam, the countryside offers fields of tulips in spring, where rows of flowers stretch across the fields in bright red, pink, and yellow. Windmills still stand in some areas, showing how the country once managed water and agriculture. Traveling south brings you to Belgium, known for its medieval towns and well-preserved architecture. Bruges is one of the highlights. When you walk through Bruges, the stone buildings, narrow canals, and cobblestone streets give you a clear view of what European cities looked like centuries ago. The town square has a tall tower that overlooks the entire area, and climbing to the top provides a wide view of rooftops and nearby canals. Belgium is also known for chocolate, waffles, and fries, which you can find almost everywhere in small shops or market stands. The country's food culture adds to the travel experience, making it both visually and tastefully memorable. Moving farther south leads you to Spain, a country with strong traditions, diverse landscapes, and cities filled with unique architecture. Barcelona is one of the most famous places in Spain because of the work of architect Antoni Gaudí. The Sagrada Familia is a massive church that has been under construction for over 100 years. Its design looks different from any other church in Europe, with shapes inspired by nature, curves, and unusual details inside and out. Barcelona combines beaches, city life, and artistic expression, making it attractive to all kinds of travelers. In the south of Spain, cities like Seville and Granada offer a different style influenced by Arabic history. The Alhambra in Granada is a large palace complex with decorated walls, arches, and gardens that showcase centuries of cultural blending between Europe and the Middle East. Crossing into Portugal brings you to a coastline full of cliffs, beaches, and bright weather. Lisbon, the capital, sits on hills overlooking the Atlantic Ocean, and yellow trams climb steep streets as they have for many decades. The buildings are covered in colorful tiles, giving the city a cheerful and lively appearance. The nearby town of Sintra offers castles and palaces surrounded by forests, especially the brightly colored Pina Palace, which stands high on a hill and attracts visitors for its design and views. Portugal's western coastline, especially the Algarve region, is known for dramatic rock formations, natural arches, and beaches with clear water. Finally, heading northeast takes you to Czech Republic and the city of Prague. Prague is often described as one of the most complete medieval cities in Europe because so much of its old architecture remains intact. The Charles Bridge stretches across the river with statues lined along its sides. The Prague Castle area rises above the city and contains palaces, gardens, and churches that reflect centuries of history. Walking through Prague feels simple and relaxed, with many viewpoints, quiet alleys, and large open squares where people gather to eat, talk, or listen to street musicians. Europe is full of variety, and Chapter 1 gives just a small look at how many different experiences the continent offers. You move from busy cities to quiet lakes, from ancient ruins to beaches, from mountain valleys to colorful villages, and everywhere you go, you find something special. If you're enjoying this travel guide, take a moment to like this video and subscribe so we can continue exploring Europe together. The next chapter will take you deeper into the continent, highlighting coastal regions, mountain destinations, national parks, and cultural sites that many travelers don't know about, but should see at least once. Traveling deeper into Europe brings you into regions that feel different not only in appearance, but also in atmosphere, lifestyle, and rhythm. Moving from large tourist cities into coastal areas, mountain ranges, and smaller towns shows how much variety the continent holds within short distances. Beginning in the southern part of Croatia, the Adriatic coastline offers one of the cleanest stretches of water in Europe. The sea is bright blue. The cliffs rise sharply from the shoreline, and small towns sit along the water like peaceful viewpoints. Dubrovnik is the most recognizable location here, with stone walls surrounding the old town and narrow streets paved with smooth limestone. When you walk along the walls, you see the rooftops below, the sea stretching outward, and boats moving toward nearby islands. The weather is warm, the food is simple and fresh, and the people are friendly. Croatia combines natural beauty with historical sites in a way that makes travel both relaxing and educational. Continuing up the coast leads you into Slovenia, one of the smallest countries in the region but full of impressive scenery. Lake Bled is one of the main highlights, where a small island sits in the middle of a calm lake surrounded by mountains. A church with a tall bell tower stands on the island, and visitors reach it by taking small wooden boats. Around the lake, walking paths give clear views of the water and the mountains reflected on its surface. Just a short drive away is Lake Bohinj, larger and quieter than Bled, offering a more natural and less crowded experience. Slovenia is also known for its caves, such as Postajna Cave, where underground chambers open into huge spaces decorated by rock formations shaped over thousands of years. The country feels safe, quiet, and easy to explore, making it suitable for travelers who enjoy nature without needing long distances between attractions. Moving north into Poland brings you to cities shaped by history, yet still full of youth and energy. Krakow stands out because its old town remains well preserved. The main square is one of the largest in Europe, surrounded by cafes, churches, and market halls. The streets around it are filled with small shops, street performers, and students. A short walk leads to Wall Castle, which stands on a hill overlooking the city. Krakow offers a mix of cultural sites and modern life, making it an affordable and interesting place to explore. Farther north, the city of Gdansk sits by the Baltic Sea. Known for its colorful waterfront buildings and maritime history, the architecture shows influences from different periods, making the city visually unique compared to elsewhere in Poland. Traveling west leads you into Denmark, where cities and towns emphasize simplicity, design, and comfort. Copenhagen is known for its clean streets, bicycle culture, and waterfront areas. Nyhavn, the famous harbor with bright buildings and wooden ships, is one of the most photographed places in the country. Visitors walk along the water, sit at outdoor cafes, or take canal tours that reveal different parts of the city. Copenhagen's design influence is easy to see. Everything from the furniture in cafes to the shape of bridges shows attention to detail. The city encourages outdoor activity, and many locals spend time walking, biking, or relaxing in parks, even during colder months. Denmark's smaller towns also provide peaceful environments, with half-timbered houses, cobblestone streets, and calm harbors. Crossing into Sweden brings you to another country with strong respect for nature. Stockholm is built across several islands, connected by bridges and ferries. The old town, called Gamla Stan, has narrow streets and colorful buildings that create a friendly and cozy atmosphere. The waterfront areas show how closely Swedish life is connected to the sea. People kayak, sail, or simply enjoy the views from walking paths. Outside the city, the Swedish countryside offers forests, lakes, and open landscapes that feel quiet and refreshing. Sweden is known for being clean, organized, and welcoming, making travel there easy and enjoyable. Heading from Sweden to Norway brings you into some of the most dramatic natural landscapes in Europe. The fjords are long, narrow inlets with steep mountain walls that drop directly into the water. Towns and villages are built along these fjords, offering views that almost feel unreal in their scale. Fjord is one of the most famous, where waterfalls drop from high cliffs and cruise ships pass through the calm, deep water. The sense of space and height is overwhelming in a positive way. Norway's roads wind through mountains, forests, and coastal areas with very little interruption. Even small drives become scenic experiences. The northern part of Norway offers the chance to see the northern lights during winter, where green and purple colors stretch across the sky. The country's natural beauty is so consistent that even ordinary places look impressive. Moving south again brings you to Scotland, known for its rugged landscapes and historic castles. The Highlands are one of the most beautiful regions, with rolling hills, deep lakes, and mountains shaped by centuries of wind. Loch Ness is the most famous lake, not only because of legends but also because of its long, narrow shape that cuts through the hills. Castles such as Islay and Donan sit on small islands or peninsulas, giving perfect views for photography. Scotland's weather changes quickly, creating different moods in the landscape. Even cloudy days make the scenery dramatic. The cities, especially Edinburgh, offer another side of the country. The old town of Edinburgh is built on uneven ground, with stairways, alleyways, and buildings stacked in unusual shapes. The castle sits on a volcanic rock, overlooking the entire city. Crossing back into mainland Europe takes you into Hungary, where the city of Budapest stands out as one of the most beautiful capitals. The Danube River divides the city into two parts, Buda and Pest. On one side, the Buda Castle area rises on a hill, offering wide views of the river and the Parliament building on the opposite side. The Parliament building is one of the largest in Europe and lights up beautifully at night. Budapest has a relaxed atmosphere, despite its size. Many visitors enjoy thermal baths, which use natural hot spring water and have been part of the city's culture for centuries. The combination of historical architecture, river views, and accessible prices makes Budapest a favorite among travelers. Traveling southeast leads you to Greece, known for islands, beaches, ruins, and warm hospitality. Athens introduces you to ancient Greek history, with the Acropolis standing above the city. Even though the buildings on the Acropolis are ruins, they remain impressive in size and design. Walking through Athens mixes ancient and modern life, with cafes and markets sitting near archaeological sites. Many travelers head to the islands to see clear water and traditional white buildings. Santorini is the most famous, with houses built into the cliffs and sunsets that attract large crowds. Mykonos offers beaches and nightlife, while Crete provides mountains, gorges, and a coastline full of variety. Greece combines history and nature in a way that makes each island and region feel unique. Heading north brings you into Bulgaria, a country with mountain ranges, old towns, and views that surprise many visitors. The Rila Monastery is one of the most visited places, located high in the mountains with colorful decorations and arches surrounding a quiet courtyard. The building is well preserved and sits in a forest area that feels calm and refreshing. Bulgaria's mountains offer hiking trails, lakes, and villages that show traditional architecture. Cities like Plovdiv combine Roman ruins, artistic neighborhoods, and relaxed outdoor spaces. Moving west into Romania brings you to the region of Transylvania, known for castles and forest-covered hills. Bran Castle is the most famous, often connected to legends, but Romania has many other castles and fortresses that show its long history. The countryside feels open and peaceful, with small towns surrounded by mountains. The city of Brasov is one of the most visited, with a large central square and streets lined with colorful buildings. Romania's landscapes are varied, offering everything from plains to mountain peaks. Continuing west leads you into Serbia, where cities like Belgrade show a different side of Europe. Belgrade sits at the meeting point of two rivers and has a strong mix of historical and modern elements. The fortress overlooking the river offers wide views of the city, while nearby streets are filled with cafes and restaurants. Serbia's countryside includes mountains, rivers, and national parks that are less crowded than those in Western Europe. Heading north into Slovakia brings you to landscapes dominated by the Tatra Mountains. These mountains are sharp, rocky, and perfect for hiking. Villages at the base of the mountains offer peaceful accommodations and views of the peaks. Slovakia also has many castles on hilltops, giving panoramic views of surrounding valleys. Continuing west again brings you into Ireland, where the coastline is full of cliffs, green fields, and strong waves. The cliffs of Moher are among the most famous. They rise steeply from the Atlantic Ocean, and walking along the edge gives clear views of their height and scale. Ireland's rural landscapes are covered in shades of green, with stone walls dividing farms and small cottages appearing in open fields. Dublin adds a lively contrast, with busy streets, music, and historic buildings. These regions show that Europe is not only about famous capitals. The continent is full of landscapes, towns, and cultural sites that give travelers a wide range of experiences. Whether standing in front of a fjord, walking through a medieval town, relaxing on a beach, or exploring a large city, the variety keeps every trip interesting. If you're enjoying this travel journey, feel free to like this video and subscribe so we can keep discovering more places together. Exploring Europe further reveals destinations that combine strong cultural identity with landscapes that attract visitors for both relaxation and adventure. Traveling into Turkey brings you to a country that connects two continents and blends different cultural influences. Istanbul is the best example of this mix. When you arrive, the city feels large, busy, and energetic. The Bosphorus Strait divides the European and Asian sides, and ferries move constantly between them. The skyline includes mosques with large domes and tall minarets, modern towers, and houses packed closely together on hills overlooking the water. The Hagia Sophia stands out as one of the most important buildings because it has served different purposes over many centuries. Nearby, the Blue Mosque, with its multiple domes and open courtyard, gives visitors a chance to see traditional Ottoman architecture. Walking through neighborhoods like Sultanahmet and Eminönü shows the older side of the city, while areas like Taksim and Besiktas display a more modern and youthful environment. Istanbul offers strong street food culture, marketplaces, and long waterfront views that help visitors understand its importance as a city where many influences meet. Traveling inland brings you to Cappadocia, one of Turkey's most recognizable landscapes. The region is full of rock formations created by volcanic activity and erosion. People carved homes, churches, and tunnels into these rocks many centuries ago, and some of them still remain. The valleys around Gorm offer walking paths through tall rock towers, and early in the morning hot air balloons fill the sky in large numbers. The view of colorful balloons rising above the landscape attracts many travelers. But even without the balloons, the terrain itself feels unusual and interesting. Cappadocia also has underground cities that were built to protect people from invasions. Walking through tunnels and chambers gives a clear idea of how communities once lived entirely below the surface. Moving northwest into Bosnia and Herzegovina brings you to a region with strong history, nature, and traditional hospitality. Mostar is one of the most visited cities, known for its famous stone bridge crossing the Neretva River. The bridge connects two sides of the old town and stands above turquoise water that flows quickly beneath it. The streets around the bridge have shops and restaurants offering local dishes. The combination of mountains, river views, and old stone buildings makes the area visually appealing. Sarajevo, the capital, sits in a valley surrounded by hills. Here, the streets show influences from both European and Ottoman periods. Markets, mosques, churches, and Austro-Hungarian-style buildings appear close to one another, representing the city's multicultural history. Traveling to the southwest leads you into Montenegro, known for bay areas, mountains, and coastal charm. The Bay of Kotor is one of the most famous places in the country. It looks like a fjord, with steep mountains surrounding deep blue water. Small towns sit along the edge, and Kotor itself is a walled city with narrow streets and stone buildings. When you climb the path to the fortress above the city, you get a wide view of the bay and surrounding peaks. Montenegro's coastline also includes beaches and clear water, especially around Budva, which attracts visitors for both its old town and its resort areas. Moving north leads you to Albania, a country that has gained popularity for its beaches and affordability. The Albanian Riviera offers long stretches of coastline, with clear water and mountains rising close to the shore. Towns like Amara and Kaysamil provide a relaxed environment, and the prices are lower than in many European beach destinations. Inland, Albania has old castles such as Zhirikasta, where stone houses cover the hills and give a strong impression of traditional architecture. The country feels welcoming, and tourism is growing quickly as more travelers discover the natural scenery and friendly atmosphere. Continuing north brings you to North Macedonia, where Lake Ohrid is one of the oldest and deepest lakes in Europe. The water is clear and calm, and the town of Ohrid sits on its shores with churches, stone houses, and viewpoints spread across the hills. The lake provides opportunities for swimming, boat tours, and peaceful walks along the waterfront. Ohrid's historical sites give insight into early Christian architecture, and the combination of natural beauty and cultural significance makes the destination appealing. Crossing into Kosovo brings you to a small country with mountain landscapes and a young, enthusiastic population. Prizren is one of its most attractive cities, with a river flowing through the center and a fortress on the hill above. The old stone bridges, mosques, and colorful buildings create a friendly and walkable environment. Kosovo's rural areas include hiking routes in the Rugova Mountains, where the scenery switches between forests, cliffs, and open valleys. Traveling farther north brings you into Croatia again, but this time focusing on the inland areas. Plitvice Lakes National Park is one of the most famous natural attractions in the region. The park contains a series of lakes connected by waterfalls, with wooden walkways built across the water. The lakes have a bright blue-green color because of the minerals in the water, and the waterfalls vary in size and strength depending on the season. Walking through the park feels organized and calm, with easy routes that allow visitors to move from lake to lake without difficulty. The natural layout of the lakes makes the park one of the most visited nature sites in Europe, and photos from Plitvice often look like paintings because of the color of the water. Moving into central Italy brings you to the region of Tuscany, known for rolling hills, vineyards, and old villages. The landscape is open and filled with green fields during spring and summer. Towns such as Florence, Siena, and Pisa offer art, architecture, and history, while the countryside provides quiet roads lined with tall cypress trees. Florence is known for famous artworks and buildings from the Renaissance period. The city is compact, and walking through the streets reveals statues, churches, and bridges with significant historical importance. Outside the city, the villages offer a slower pace of life and wide views of the fields below. Heading north brings you to the mountains again, this time in the form of the Dolomites. These mountains in northern Italy attract visitors for hiking, skiing, and photography. Their shape is different from other ranges because the cliffs rise sharply and have jagged edges. The valleys below contain small towns with wooden houses and green fields. The Dolomites offer a wide range of trails for different skill levels, and even short walks provide excellent viewpoints. Crossing into France again but exploring different areas brings you into the French Riviera and the Provence region. The French Riviera includes cities like Nice, Cannes, and Monaco, which offer warm weather, beaches, and a mix of luxury and casual coastal living. The color of the water is one of the main attractions, with bright blue shades that look clean and inviting. Provence, located inland, offers lavender fields that bloom in summer and give the region a distinctive color and scent. The towns in Provence have stone buildings, narrow streets, and markets selling cheese, olives, and fresh produce. Traveling east into Monaco reveals one of the smallest and wealthiest places on the continent. The city-state sits along the coast with tall buildings rising from the cliffside. The marina holds expensive yachts, and the roads host the famous Monaco Grand Prix. Despite its size, Monaco offers clear sea views, clean streets, and well-maintained public areas. Moving northeast leads you to Luxembourg, one of the smallest countries in Europe, but known for its strong economy and quiet charm. Luxembourg City is built on high cliffs with bridges connecting different parts of the city. The old fortifications and green valleys below give the city a unique layout. Outside the capital, small towns and castles appear throughout the countryside, providing calm environments for walking and sightseeing. Continuing north again takes you into Belgium, but focusing on places different from Bruges. Ghent is an example of a city that mixes modern life with medieval structures. Rivers flow through the center, and old buildings reflect on the water. The city has a strong student population, giving it a lively atmosphere. Antwerp, another Belgian city, is known for fashion, design, and artistic influence. Its cathedral, old squares, and museums attract visitors interested in culture and creativity. Traveling northwest into Netherlands again brings attention to Rotterdam, a city very different from Amsterdam. Rotterdam is modern, with bold architecture, tall buildings, and innovative design. The cube houses and Erasmus Bridge show how the city embraces new concepts. Rotterdam was heavily damaged during the Second World War, and its new layout reflects rebuilding and modernization. The port area is one of the largest in the world, adding industrial interest to the city. Crossing the English Channel brings you to England, where the countryside, cities, and coastal towns provide a wide variety of experiences. The Lake District in northwest England offers hills, lakes, and quiet walking paths. The scenery is gentle and peaceful, attracting many visitors who enjoy nature. Cornwall in the southwest has beaches, cliffs, and fishing towns. St. Ives, for example, is known for art galleries and clear coastal views. London remains the most visited city, combining historical sites like the Tower of London with modern attractions and museums. The city is large and diverse, offering something for every type of traveler. Traveling north again brings you back into Scotland, but focusing on the islands. The Isle of Skye is one of the most scenic places in the country, with rock formations, waterfalls, and coastal cliffs. The Quirring and the Old Man of Storr are two locations with distinctive shapes created by landslides and erosion. The roads on Skye offer continuous viewpoints, and the small towns on the island provide comfortable places to stay. Heading southeast brings you to Wales, where Snowdonia National Park features mountains, lakes, and climbing paths. Mount Snowdon is the tallest peak, and visitors can reach the summit either by hiking or by taking a mountain railway. The region feels calm and natural, with villages that reflect traditional Welsh culture. Moving into Central Europe again takes you to Slovenia for another area worth visiting, Triglav National Park. The Julian Alps dominate the region, and the Socha River runs through it with a bright blue color. The river is popular for rafting and kayaking, while the hiking trails offer high views of mountains and valleys. These destinations show how Europe contains a wide range of cultures, landscapes, and lifestyles within manageable distances. Whether walking along historic bridges, climbing mountain paths, relaxing on beaches, or exploring small towns, the experience remains varied and engaging. If you're enjoying this journey across Europe, feel free to like this video and subscribe so we can continue exploring more locations across the continent. Traveling farther across Europe introduces places that highlight the continent's diversity in lifestyle, climate, and architecture. Moving into Finland brings you to a northern region known for forests, lakes, and calm surroundings. The country contains thousands of lakes, many of them surrounded by pine trees, open fields, and small wooden cabins. In the summer, the days are long and quiet, and people spend time swimming, boating, or simply enjoying the open nature. In the winter, snow covers much of the land, and the atmosphere changes completely. Rovaniemi in Finnish Lapland is one of the most popular destinations because it sits near the Arctic Circle. Visitors come to experience reindeer farms, snow-covered forests, and the northern lights. The cold temperatures create a crisp environment, and activities like husky sledding and snowmobiling show how life adapts to these conditions. Finland's capital, Helsinki, offers a modern style with clean design, waterfront areas, and open public spaces that emphasize simplicity and practicality. Crossing west into Sweden again, but exploring more rural areas leads you to regions full of forests, lakes, and quiet roads. The northern part of Sweden provides large open landscapes with minimal towns and light pollution. Many visitors come to see the midnight sun during summer, when the sky stays bright throughout the night. In the winter, northern Sweden offers strong chances of seeing the northern lights as well. The countryside includes wooden houses painted in red and white, a traditional color scheme used for generations. The lifestyle here is relaxed, nature-centered, and focused on outdoor activities. Crossing the border into Norway again, but focusing on different regions highlights how large and diverse the country truly is. The Lofoten Islands are one of the most visited places in northern Norway because of their sharp mountain peaks rising directly from the sea. The villages consist of small red fishing cabins built on wooden stilts near the water. The surrounding mountains and clean ocean create a strong visual impression that attracts photographers and nature lovers. The islands offer hiking trails, fishing opportunities, and scenic drives along winding coastal roads. During the winter, the islands receive snow, and the combination of mountains, snow, and ocean creates a striking landscape. Traveling south into Estonia introduces a different style of northern Europe. Tallinn, the capital, has a medieval old town that remains well preserved. Cobblestone streets, old towers, and stone buildings give the feeling of stepping into a historic European center. Cafes, small restaurants, and local craft shops appear throughout the area. Estonia also contains forests, marshlands, and coastal areas with calm views of the Baltic Sea. The country's digital innovation contrasts with its old architecture, showing how tradition and modernity can exist together smoothly. Heading south into Latvia leads you to Riga, a city with a mix of medieval, wooden, and Art Nouveau buildings. The old town includes narrow streets and squares lined with colorful buildings. The central market sits inside old Zeppelin hangars, offering food and local products. Latvia's coastline has wide, sandy beaches, especially in Jamala, where people come to relax during summer. The country's forests and national parks offer walking trails and peaceful, natural environments. Crossing into Lithuania introduces another Baltic nation, with a calm atmosphere. Vilnius, the capital, has an old town filled with churches, courtyards, and traditional architecture. The city is known for its relaxed lifestyle and wide viewpoints from the hills surrounding the center. Outside the city, the Curonian Spit offers long stretches of sand dunes and beaches along the Baltic Sea. Its unique geography makes it a popular destination for quiet walks and simple outdoor activities. Moving into Central Europe again brings you into Switzerland, but in different regions from earlier. The area around Zermatt and the Matterhorn attracts visitors who want to see one of the most recognizable mountain peaks in the world. Zermatt is a car-free village, meaning people move around on foot, by bicycle, or using electric vehicles. The fresh air, clear mountain views, and organized trails make it easy to enjoy the natural surroundings. Skiing, hiking, and climbing are the main activities here, and many visitors simply enjoy the view of the Matterhorn from different angles. Switzerland offers precision and order in nearly every aspect of travel, from transportation to accommodation, creating a comfortable environment for visitors. Heading into Liechtenstein introduces a very small country situated between Switzerland and Austria. Vaduz, the capital, is known for its castle on a hill overlooking the town. The country offers mountain views and calm towns that feel similar to neighboring alpine regions. It is one of the least visited countries in Europe, making it appealing for travelers seeking quiet environments. Traveling west again brings you into different parts of France, including the Alsace region. Towns such as Colmar and Strasbourg are known for timber-framed houses, colorful buildings, and flower decorations in the warmer months. The canals in Colmar and the old quarters of Strasbourg provide calm and visually pleasing walking routes. The region has a mix of French and German influences due to its history, which is reflected in the architecture and food. Moving south toward the Alps again introduces northern Italy with its lakes region. Lake Como is one of the most visited, surrounded by mountains and villages built along the shoreline. The water is calm, and boats travel between towns such as Bellagio, Varenna, and Como. The combination of hills, gardens, and waterfront promenades creates a relaxing environment. Lake Garda, the largest lake in Italy, offers a similar experience, but with more open spaces and a mix of small towns and adventure activities. These lakes attract visitors who want a peaceful environment combined with access to good food and historical sites. Moving south into Spain again, but focusing on different areas leads you to the northern coastline. The Basque Country includes cities like San Sebastián, known for its clean beaches, strong food culture, and calm atmosphere. The coastline around San Sebastián includes cliffs, sandy beaches, and walking routes overlooking the ocean. Bilbao, another major city in the region, is known for the Guggenheim Museum, a modern building with a design that has helped transform the city's cultural reputation. The combination of nature, architecture, and culinary tradition makes this region appealing to many travelers. Heading west to the coast of Portugal brings you to Porto, a city built along the Douro River. The narrow streets, old buildings, and riverfront area create a simple but attractive setting. The city is known for producing port wine, and many visitors explore the wine cellars located across the river in Vila Nova de Gaia. The coastline north and south of Porto includes long sandy beaches that are popular for surfing. Portugal's climate, affordability, and relaxed culture make it a comfortable destination for many travelers. Moving into Central Europe once again leads to Germany, exploring areas beyond the major cities. The Black Forest region includes dense tree-covered hills, lakes, and villages that feel traditional and quiet. The area offers walking and cycling routes through forest landscapes and open meadows. Farther north, the region of Saxon Switzerland near the border with the Czech Republic contains rock formations, cliffs, and bridges that attract hikers and photographers. The Baste Bridge is one of the most recognizable spots, offering views of rocky pillars and forested valleys. Traveling south into Austria again highlights Salzkammergut, a region filled with lakes and small towns. Hallstatt is the most famous town, with houses built on the slopes beside a calm lake. Visitors often enjoy boat rides, lakeside walks, and viewpoints overlooking the village. The region overall offers peaceful landscapes and traditional architecture that appeal to travelers seeking quiet and nature-filled environments. Crossing into Slovenia again, but focusing on its coast, brings you to Piran, a town with narrow streets, a central square, and views of the Adriatic Sea. The buildings show Venetian influence, and the waterfront area provides simple relaxation. The surrounding hills include vineyards and olive groves that reflect the local agricultural traditions. Heading into Croatia again, but in the north leads you to the Istrian Peninsula. Towns such as Rovinj offer colorful buildings, stone streets, and clear water. The old town sits on a peninsula, giving views of the coastline in every direction. The region includes small fishing villages, calm beaches, and countryside areas filled with olive trees and vineyards. Moving northeast brings you into Slovakia, again for another region, the Slovak Paradise National Park. This area contains forests, gorges, waterfalls, and walking routes that include ladders and wooden platforms. The park offers more adventurous hiking compared to other European regions, attracting visitors who enjoy a physical challenge. Traveling east introduces Ukraine and its Carpathian Mountains. The region includes wide valleys, wooden houses, and mountain peaks that attract hikers and nature enthusiasts. The city of Lviv offers a more urban experience, with well-preserved architecture, cafes, and a strong cultural atmosphere. Lviv's central square and surrounding streets are filled with buildings showing European influences from different historical periods. Heading north brings you to Belarus, where cities like Minsk show wide boulevards, large public spaces, and Soviet-era architecture. The countryside includes forests, rivers, and small villages. Although less visited than other European countries, Belarus has clean, organized cities and calm natural areas that appeal to travelers looking for something different. Traveling west into Czech Republic again, but exploring outside Prague, brings you to Český Krumlov, a small town with a castle that overlooks winding streets and the Vltava River. The town feels preserved and peaceful, with old buildings and narrow pathways. The surrounding area includes forests and hills that offer viewpoints of the town below. Continuing into Poland again leads you to the Tatra Mountains, located near the border with Slovakia. Zakopane is a well-known town at the base of the mountains, offering skiing in the winter and hiking in the summer. The wooden houses in the region have a distinctive architectural style, and the mountain views attract many visitors looking for both adventure and relaxation. These destinations show how Europe contains an endless variety of travel experiences, from snowy northern regions to warm Mediterranean towns, from busy cultural centers to quiet natural parks. The continent remains easy to explore because of short travel distances, clear transportation networks, and welcoming local communities. If you're enjoying this journey, remember you can like this video and subscribe to stay connected as we continue exploring more of Europe's most interesting places. Traveling through the remaining regions of Europe shows how much variety the continent offers, even after visiting dozens of destinations. Moving into Iceland introduces a landscape that feels different from almost anywhere else on the continent. The country is known for volcanoes, glaciers, black sand beaches, and geothermal activity. When visitors arrive in Reykjavik, the capital, they often use it as a base to explore the surrounding natural attractions. The Golden Circle route leads to places like Thingvellir National Park, where the ground is split by tectonic plates, and Gullfoss, a large waterfall that drops in multiple stages. Nearby, geysers erupt at regular intervals, sending columns of hot water into the air. Farther along the southern coast, the black sand beach at Reynisfjara creates a strong contrast between dark sand, tall basalt columns, and powerful ocean waves. Iceland's natural environment changes often due to weather, making every visit feel slightly different. Glaciers like Vatnajökull cover large portions of the island, and visitors can walk on them with proper guides. The country also has geothermal pools, the most famous being the Blue Lagoon, where warm mineral water creates a relaxing experience even during cold weather. Moving southeast brings you into Ireland again, but focusing on regions beyond the well-known sites. The Wild Atlantic Way covers a long coastal driving route with cliffs, beaches, and remote villages. The landscape changes often, offering viewpoints of rocky shorelines and large ocean waves crashing against the cliffs. Towns like Dingle provide colorful buildings, harbors, and an easygoing lifestyle. Farther north, the Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland includes thousands of hexagonal stone columns formed by volcanic activity. Walking along the rocks gives a clear impression of how unusual geological processes can create organized shapes in nature. Ireland's countryside remains one of its strongest attractions, with green fields, stone walls, and old farmhouses spread across open land. Crossing into England again offers new areas such as the Cotswolds, known for villages made of honey-colored stone. The towns include small shops, quiet streets, and walking paths through gently rolling hills. The region reflects traditional rural England, where buildings maintain a consistent architectural style. The Jurassic Coast in the south offers cliffs and beaches where fossils are often found, showing the geological history of the area. Along this coast, places like Durdle Door attract visitors for the natural rock arch that rises from the water. Further north, the city of York offers medieval walls, narrow lanes, and one of the most impressive cathedrals in Europe, York Minster. Walking through the Shambles, a narrow street with overhanging buildings, gives a sense of how old English towns once looked. Traveling east leads to Netherlands again, but focusing on rural areas and coastal regions. The tulip fields near Lis bloom in spring and create wide stretches of color. The windmills at Kinderdijk show how the Dutch historically managed water, and the area remains a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The North Sea coastline includes calm beaches where strong winds and open skies attract kitesurfers, walkers, and families. The Dutch countryside includes flat farmland, canals, and villages with traditional houses. Crossing into Belgium again highlights Ardennes, a forested region with hills, rivers, and small towns. The area offers opportunities for hiking, canoeing, and visiting castles. Dinant, a town sitting beside a river with steep cliffs behind it, stands out because of its dramatic setting. The citadel above the town provides wide views of the region. Belgium's food culture remains strong throughout the country, with chocolate, waffles, and fries widely available. Heading south leads into Luxembourg again, exploring the Mulathol region. Often called Little Switzerland because of its rock formations, narrow passages, and forest trails. The area offers easy-to-follow hiking routes that take visitors through gorges, moss-covered rocks, and old stone bridges. The peaceful environment contrasts with the modern city life found elsewhere in Europe. Continuing into France brings attention to the Loire Valley, known for its castles, gardens, and vineyards. Castles like Chambord and Chenonceau attract visitors for their size, design, and historical importance. The Loire River flows through the region, and the surrounding countryside provides quiet views and cycling paths. Further southwest, the region of Dordogne offers medieval villages, stone houses, and caves decorated with prehistoric drawings. The pace of life feels slow and relaxed, and many small towns remain largely unchanged over time. Moving south to the border of Spain brings you into the Pyrenees, a mountain range that separates France and Spain. The region includes hiking trails, lakes, and valleys. On the Spanish side, the Ordesa and Monte Perdido National Park offers deep canyons, waterfalls, and mountain paths. The Basque region appears again farther west, showing differences in food, language, and architecture from neighboring areas. Beaches, green hills, and modern cities create a variety of environments within a short distance. Traveling south into central Spain provides new destinations such as Madrid and Toledo. Madrid is the capital and offers large plazas, museums, and parks. The Prado Museum contains famous paintings, while Retiro Park provides a calm space in the middle of the city. Toledo sits on a hill above a river and combines Christian, Muslim, and Jewish historical influences. Its narrow streets, stone buildings, and viewpoints reveal centuries of cultural overlap. In the south of Spain, additional cities such as Córdoba display important historical structures. The Mezquita, a mosque cathedral with red and white arches, shows the architectural blending that took place during different periods of Spanish history. Heading east brings you to the Balearic Islands, part of Spain but with distinct character. Mallorca includes beaches, mountains, and towns like Valdemossa, which are built from stone and surrounded by greenery. The coastal drives provide views of cliffs and bright blue water. Ibiza, known for nightlife, also contains quiet coves and clear water suitable for swimming and snorkeling. Menorca remains quieter overall, with fewer crowds and more natural beaches. Crossing into Italy again highlights southern regions such as Puglia and Sicily. Puglia, located in the heel of the Italian boot, has whitewashed towns, olive groves, and a long coastline. Towns like Alberobello include unique trolley houses with conical roofs. The region is known for simple, fresh food and warm weather. Sicily, the largest island in the Mediterranean, offers a combination of beaches, mountains, and historical sites. Mount Etna is one of the most active volcanoes in Europe, and visitors can explore its slopes with guided tours. Towns like Taormina offer sea views, old theaters, and narrow streets filled with shops and cafes. Traveling east brings you to Malta, a small island nation in the Mediterranean. Valletta, the capital, is known for its fortified walls, narrow streets, and limestone buildings. The water surrounding the island is clear and calm, making it popular for swimming and boat trips. Malta's history involves various empires, and the architecture reflects this mix. The smaller island of Gozo offers a quieter environment with natural arches, beaches, and rural landscapes. Moving north again to Greece brings new locations outside the well-known islands. Meteora stands out with large stone pillars rising from the ground and monasteries built on top of them. The views from the monasteries show the scale of the rock formations and the valleys below. Northern Greece also includes areas like Zagori, where stone bridges, forests, and villages remain well preserved. The Pindus Mountains offer hiking trails and scenic drives through natural valleys. Traveling northwest into Albania again, but focusing on the Albanian Alps, reveals a landscape of deep valleys, tall mountains, and traditional villages. Theth and Valbona are two of the most visited areas, connected by a popular hiking route. The mountains provide a peaceful environment, and the villages offer simple accommodations that reflect the rural lifestyle. Crossing into Montenegro again, but exploring the Dermata National Park area highlights lakes, pine forests, and sharp mountain peaks. The Tara River Canyon, one of the deepest in Europe, offers rafting and viewpoints along the surrounding cliffs. The national park provides a wide range of trails suitable for different fitness levels. Traveling north into Bosnia and Herzegovina again brings attention to the Una National Park, where rivers, waterfalls, and clear water attract nature enthusiasts. The turquoise color of the rivers and the surrounding forests create a calm and visually appealing environment. Heading northeast leads you into Serbia again, but exploring areas such as Tara National Park. The park contains forests, rivers, and viewpoints overlooking the Drina River. The atmosphere remains quiet and natural, offering an escape from urban environments. Crossing into Romania again highlights the Danube Delta, one of the largest wetlands in Europe. The area contains lakes, canals, and marshlands with a large variety of birds. Boat tours give visitors a chance to see wildlife and explore the waterways. The delta provides a different type of landscape compared to mountains and cities found elsewhere in Europe. Moving north into Moldova introduces a lesser-known destination with vineyards, monasteries, and rural villages. The Orhayul Vechi region includes archaeological sites and a monastery built into cliffs. The surrounding countryside offers quiet views of hills and farmland. Continuing northwest brings you into Ukraine again, but focusing on Odessa and the Black Sea coastline. The city features wide boulevards, a long waterfront area, and a mix of historical and modern buildings. The beaches attract visitors during summer, and the city has a lively cultural scene. Traveling west leads to Slovakia again, but exploring different areas such as Bognes Castle. The castle has a fairy tale appearance with towers, courtyards, and gardens. The region around it includes forested hills and small towns. Crossing into Austria again brings attention to the Großglockner High Alpine Road, a scenic drive that passes through high mountain areas with glaciers, meadows, and viewpoints. The road provides access to some of Austria's tallest peaks and offers clear views of the surrounding landscape. Moving west into Switzerland again highlights the region around Interlaken, but exploring nearby Lauterbrunnen Valley offers a different experience. The valley has steep cliffs, waterfalls, and small villages surrounded by green meadows. Wengen and Muren, two car-free villages, provide peaceful stays with clear views of the surrounding mountains. These final locations show how Europe's diversity continues across the entire continent. Travelers can move between beaches, mountains, forests, islands, cities, and villages within short distances, experiencing different cultures, foods, and landscapes along the way. If you've enjoyed this travel journey across Europe, feel free to like this video and subscribe so you can continue exploring more destinations with us in future guides.